This tutorial I'm showing you today is so easy. It's going to change your life. Well, maybe not, but like just a little. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Allison. I'm a wedding photographer and a crafty lady. I'm crafty. What can I say? A big part of wedding photography is photographing the bridal details, and I like to take styling boards with me to have a pretty background that goes with the wedding, and I can carry it wherever. I'm obsessed with styling boards, and I will be sharing more videos with different techniques on different types of styling boards. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss those. So today I'm showing you how to make these 3 styling boards in these colors: pink, gray, and plain white. I'm telling you, this will take you, well, it takes a couple days to dry, but other than that, it'll take you about 15 minutes. So you'll need a canvas that's 18 by 24, and it is flat. It has a flat back. It doesn't have the stretched canvas on the wooden frame. I have some of those that are like that, and it's just too bulky. Let me get it. Okay, here's your other option. It is so big. That's what she said. And it is much wider. I think this is a 30 by 40. No, 36 by 24, if I had to guess. Yeah, I'm a good guesser. So I really like that one, but it is so big. It's really impractical to bring to a wedding and haul around with me all day. This one is just too compact. It's so good. I love it. Anyway, let's get into it. So you'll need a canvas that is 18 by 24. This one came in a 3-pack, a scraper thingy-majiggy. You can get this at Home Depot. I actually have a 3-pack and I use them all. And you'll need spackling. I got the 32 ounce and that was enough for 3 boards. I also recommend having a drop cloth to protect whatever surface you're working on. There's really nothing to this tutorial. You just open the spackling, mix it up a little bit, and then start going to town on your board. If you want more texture, I would start with the smaller scraper thingy-majiggy. And if you want less texture, I would start with the one that's wider, so you get larger strokes. On this board, I'm showing you more texture, and there's really no rhyme or reason. You really can't mess it up. If it's too much texture for you, you can use the larger scraper to kind of even it out. That's what I did here. I had enough spackling paste for all 3 boards, but by the end of it, I was scraping the bottom. So if you have a heavy hand, I would definitely recommend getting the bigger size. And you can try a few techniques. I did some cross hatching here where you just kind of like make X's, and that worked out pretty well too. I didn't want it to be too uniform, which is actually pretty hard for me because I like straight lines and evenness. So if you're like that, there is hope for you. I also cleaned up my edges so that when it dried, it wouldn't crumble all over my floor. So for this next board, I wanted a little less texture, so I started with the really big scraper thing. This was actually harder for me because it kept making these little indentions at the edge of the scraper, but I really like the more subtle look that this one has. And if you think you messed it up, it's okay. You can just go back and fix anything. One thing I did notice on these boards that don't have a frame and stretch canvas is that they tend to warp a little, like this, like a bowl almost. Not terribly, but after a couple of hours of drying, I came in here and I flipped it like this. It was pretty much all the way dry. I flipped it and then I put something heavy on the top so it would straighten it out. I let these dry for 2 to 3 days, mostly because I didn't have time to paint them. I think 1 day is plenty. You could even read the spackling on the back and see how long it takes to dry and go by that. If you're wanting to paint your canvas, you will need sponges, matte acrylic paint in red, white, and black, and a paper plate or bowl you don't care about. My boards are gray and pink, so I used black and white and then red and white. If you want other colors, you can use those colors. So I started with a little black and a lot of white, and it was still a lot of black that was overpowering my board. I wanted it to look more like concrete, and it looks more cobalt gray. So I had to add a lot of white paint. So if you think you've messed up, it's okay. There is no messing up. Just add more black or add more white. This little white tube of paint lasted me through all 3 boards, but again, if you have a heavy hand, usually I would get a bigger size of the white. I used a few different techniques while sponging my paint on, as you can see here, and it just gave me a little extra texture and variation in my paint strokes. You can see here that there is a dark spot in the top left, so I just added a lot of white paint and evened it out. At the end, I ended up adding a lot more white paint, and I like the way it turned out because the darker paint is underneath and it was kind of in the cracks and crevices. So the white paint highlighted the tops and the dark paint was in the cracks. If you're worried about these getting dirty, you can seal them with Mod Podge Matte, but it is definitely not necessary. For the pink board, we'll be doing the exact same thing, just using red and white paint instead of black and white paint. I used the board that had less texture for my pink board, just because pink is an overall softer color to me, and I wanted my gray board to be more industrial looking. The red was also much easier to work with than black. I'm not sure why, but this board took me half the time to do. I would say if you're looking for a blush color, a more toned down pink, I would get some gray and add it to your pink and mix that together before you do the whole thing. Or you can get more of a blush toned paint and then do the same technique. So there you have it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I hope you are as obsessed as I am. This is a really good, like, girlfriends getting together and making and crafting and drinking wine if you want to. Just throwing that out there. I would love to see your creations and what you come up with. I'm really wanting to do multiple colors. Like, I might have to make another video. Or maybe I'll just follow up on Instagram because that's where my people are. So follow me over there and I'm obsessed. I'm doing all the colors. I want to do a rainbow one. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more videos on how to make more styling boards soon, as well as a styling board holder. I have yet to see a styling board holder that will like carry your styling boards effectively. And I think I know the solution. So come back and see me. I'll see you next week. Bye. Okay, what are these? Styling boards. Why do I sound so weird? So what you'll need is, what is this? A canvas. There's a fly in here. Ooh, that's right, be scared. What is this thing called? It's a canvas. It's a canvas. What is it called? These fumes are getting to me.